What's going on, everybody? It's Seth Miranda.
I'm Dave Brusca.
This is Adorama Rewind.
Let's get to the first story.
So apparently, Dave, we can't have nice things.
Yeah, it's upsetting. It's very upsetting.
The sunflower farms are being trampled due to Instagram popularity. People are seeing them. They're making the pilgrimage. They're paying, what, $7.50?
Yeah, well, so this particular sunflower farm kind of decided to open up their farm to photographers and charging them $7.50 to go shoot on the land. They didn't realize that it was going to make an Instagram explosion.
Yeah.
Massive horde of people going there to take selfies and such in the sunflower fields, trampling things.
It's
in the end, they said it wasn't worth it.
No. I mean, I can't imagine it would be. It's just, yeah, you wanted to get the picture you've seen on Instagram. You want to go and, I don't understand copying someone else's life.
That to me is also another thing. That's part of it, right? Is that people were seeing this photo that somebody would post up. It looked great with them in it, and they wanted to be in the same location in that shot. Right. I guess.
Well, I'm sure it's overwhelming. You get there, it's an amazing ocean of sunflowers, and I'm sure if you come from a urban environment like we do, it's just like whoa. But at the same time, it's like, do we need to destroy these things to replicate something that already exists? I don't get it.
Yeah, what's the value added?
Yeah, and $7.50. How do you come to that number? I just want to know where that came from.
Yeah. Why not thinking, I don't know, how about 15? Double it, right? Just double it.
What's the cost of one sunflower? And then you can go trample.
Right.
I don't know. So there's that. But more in fun news, Cameradactyl is on crowdfunding right now.
Yeah, so it's this this kind of 3D printed 4x5 camera that
there's a million variations for this thing.
Yeah, you can see in the image that there's one variation, and it goes on and on. There's
bellow styles. There's colors for every knob, every adjustment rail, everything on. It's a field camera, unlike the one we talked about last week, which I made a mistake and said it was a field camera. It was a monorail.
Collapse, though. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean everything's a field camera to me. You just carry it. Anyway. But this seems like a lot more fun. Plus, it's really affordable, it seems.
Yeah. I think that what they're saying on the Kickstarter, if you get in now, it's like $225 to actually get a camera. And it's probably going to go up $300, maybe $350. Even that is still very affordable for a 4x5.
I just love that new technology is bringing back old technology. Yeah. That's awesome, and it's very accessible right now.
And 3D printing is really just opening the doors to so many things. So.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I think they're promising delivery for these in October, so check out the link. If you want to grab it, now's the time to grab it. But speaking of cool little camera stuff.
Yeah, so this guy kind of took apart an old Zenit lens and swapped the one of the lens elements the other direction. Take a look at the images in the link. Yep. You'll see some of the shots that the guy took. And it's pretty crazy. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you take any lens and you flip it around, it becomes a macro lens. He took one of the elements, flipped it around, it became a macro lens, and it gave him some crazy reflectance inside the elements, giving him this dreamlike, really crazy bokeh that I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
So check out those images below in the link.
Yeah.
And speaking of awesome lenses.
Yeah, so Venice Optical or
Venus.
Venus or
Venus Optical.
Laowa.
Laowa. A lot of fun names on this one, but it's a really weird and really cool lens. So it's a probe, really. Yeah, it's
a probe lens, 24 millimeter 2x macro lens. You can see the image of it here. It's super long. It's waterproof. And we used this at NAB this year. It was actually really cool. They had like a fish tank set up. You could, put the lens into the water. It was really cool. I don't know. It was just interesting to get like scales, like macro shots of fish, or like little tiny bits of, they had like tiny little architectural setups in there.
Yeah, but at a wide angle with no distortion, which is the cool part. And with the waterproof and all this other thing, and it's probing, medical applications. This sky's the limit on this one, I think. Yeah.
I would say it's maybe a bit large for like invasive medical procedures.
Depends on how invasive or tough that patient is. I'm just saying. But it's not just the start, but it's a great advancement for macro right now. So
yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right, moving on.
Yeah. So this was the next one is about a writer who posed for a photo shoot, and she then 2 years later, she found her image everywhere.
Yeah, so this is more of a story about some like ethics in photography. She thought she was posing for a project where it was 100 faces and there would be 3 poses per face, happy, straight on, and okay, just a random pose. The photographer had her sign a release. The release she didn't read it, and he just ended up selling it as stock photography, and she ended up looking like the face of immigration.
Right. Yes.
Which is kind of crazy. So
and a whole bunch. I mean, we're talking McDonald's and,
Oh, yeah.
and a bunch of companies used this image, and actually some companies used it as an employee photo, which I think is kind of like that's
not funny. I'm sorry.
That's just taking it to an extreme.
Yeah, read everything you sign in this industry, especially nowadays.
Yeah, and as a photographer takeaway, this exact situation can happen when you are trying to license your photo to another company. So kind of keep that in mind. Always read your fine print.
Yeah. By the way, Dave, is my hat crooked enough?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
All right,
you're
I wasn't
okay.
sure if we get started or not. Okay, cool. All right. So that's it for the news.
That's it for the news. We do have an episode of Gavin Hoey's Take and Make Great Photography that I wanted to point out. And this one was shooting a portrait, laying down in the grass, kind of getting this overhead shot. And what I liked about this one was that he took it from a simple shot that many people would look at and go, yeah, that's good enough, and then they would leave. But he decided to stage it and then light it and everything, get the consistency to take it to the next level.
Yeah, I think what's great about this, like you said, most people would have taken the shot and been like, cool, got it. But a lot of people ask, like, well, it's a model on the floor. How do you light? How do you angle yourself? How do you deal with someone actually touching the backdrop themselves, which is basically the floor?
Yeah.
He answers all those questions, and he shows you how to elevate it to that next pro level, and he even shows you the post edit. So it's beginning to end, all said and done. And I mean, it's Gavin. It's Gavin.
Yeah, can't go wrong with those episodes.
Enough said.
Videos.
Enough said.
Yeah, so I think that's it then for today.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the stuff. Let's talk about that sunflower field. Are we at a point where Instagram is damaging the earth, or can we have nice things? I don't know, Dave.
Right, yeah, it's a iffy situation, I think.
Let us know if you're someone that's thinking about getting into 4x5 now that it's so accessible, now that the old technology is bringing back the new technology is bringing out the old technology, and it's cheaper and things like that. Maybe not the film, but
Yeah.
Well,
We'll get there.
Would you rip apart a lens and flip an element inside out? What do you think the application of this new macro probe lens would be? Let's talk.
Yeah.
Have you ever signed something that you didn't read?
There's that. So, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment.
Yeah, we'll
let
see
us
you
know.
down there. We will see you down there in the comments, guys.
Yes.
See you guys next week.
See you next week.
Peace.